Yesterday, the Finance Secretary, Mr. Somnathan, he said that the Adani controversy is only a storm in the teacup. Do you agree with this statement? If you don't, yes, what is your take on this humongous controversy?
You clarify.
I just want to be clear. I said in macroeconomic terms and in terms of stability of our public financial institutions, it is a storm in a teacup. And I stand by that.
No, my finance secretary is saying something to explain the macroeconomic situation. So, as regards his statement, he's given his explanation. That's where I also say that he is given, hey, listen to me, much before I complete, don't go on rigmaroling it. You asked me for my view on his statement. He's given a clarification on his statement, not a clarification. He's repeating what he said yesterday, wherein you took one particular line. And that's where it ends.
Since this is the last question, I would want to ask you about the Adani Group.
Yes, I did say that I'll come back to you for you to ask that question. Please to ask. It may not be the last question. Somebody else might want.
Okay, sure.
You don't need to conclude it.
No, sure.
You're welcome. Hold on. You're welcome to ask your third question.
I wanted to ask you about what actions is the government taking so that this entire Adani issue does not snowball into a financial crisis and hurt the risk appetite of the economy. That's my first question, and if you could clarify.
Oh, I thought you had a second.
It's related
question.
to that.
Okay.
It's related to that. And if you could comment on the corporate governance issues from this particular entity that you're seeing.
Yeah, but on both the questions, it'll be the regulators who will do their job. You've had the Reserve Bank comment on it yesterday. And prior to that, not regulators, but the banks and the LIC have themselves come out to say what their level of exposure is. So the regulators will do their job. And regulators are independent of the government. And many of you all have repeatedly asked this question about RBI's independence and government not getting into it. I'd like to remind you all about that. They are regulators and they are independent and they are left to themselves to do what is appropriate. And actually, for keeping the market and the markets regulated well in prime condition, the SEBI is the authority and it has the wherewithal to keep that prime condition intact. You've had a lot of clarification and you seem to have more. No, you will not put out what we have not said, right? But what is sought in the name of a clarification, I'm worried violates my rights as a parliamentarian when the session is on course. The same question being asked in different ways will not elicit an answer except for saying Parliament is in session. I would like to honor the Parliament even if you would ask me questions which will make me violate by answering it. So if you're conscious of that and you still want to repeat the question, please do. So how many times FPOs have not withdrawn from this country and how many times has the image of India been suffering because of that? And how many times have the FPOs have not come back? No, my answer in the context of the question is given already. You may reread the question or rehear the question and place my answer in that context. Thank you, everybody.